welcome back to Final Fantasy IX with RPGs. My name's Lacy. I'm Gene's supposed best friend. And we're going to talk some more about Final Fantasy IX.
Oh no, Lacy, the sign fell. What do you mean supposed?
Supposedly. We'll see.
Well, Phoebe tripped and somehow that made the guy's sign fall.
He was working on it earlier if you saw in the past video. So just to recap, from the last video, we were looking through Alexandria as the character Vivi, who I spoiled. And now we are on part 2 of our video and learning more about Alexandria and what's going to happen next.
Indeed. And, I wonder if this guy's Alleyway Jack.
Oh, that's the rat guy.
Yeah, that rat bastard.
He probably took our ticket.
What? Okay,
Please,
so...
that's a little extreme.
Well, here's the thing. If we say no, he tells us we're stupid and runs off. So, we have to become his slave.
If you had picked no, would we have to chase him down?
No, we'd have to leave the alley and then come back, and then he'd just ask again.
Ah.
But we're on watch out for some reason. I'm not sure why, because... Well, wait a minute. He just stole the ladder. Now, make sure you push the action button when it shows up with this guy, because otherwise he'll take your money.
Oh!
Yeah, he steals your money.
Never knew that.
But he's going to teach us about cards, because this is Alleyway Jack. We got told at the end of the last part if we want to learn more.
This is a part of the game that I really enjoyed when I was playing it.
Yes, indeed. The card game's actually really fun. It's kind of a revision of the Final Fantasy VIII one. I don't know if you remember that.
A little bit, yes.
It's also similar to the card game that's in Final Fantasy XIV, which is pretty much the same one that was in 8. But I actually like this one better.
I'm much better at this version than I am at the one in 14.
Yeah, I like this version better. But rather than have him explain it to us, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it ourselves and play a couple of card games. So let's start by talking to her. So, since we stole Hippol's special treasure, we have an Ironite card. So, Lacy, do you know how the card game works?
Yes, basically, you look at what your rating is on your cards, and based on the arrows is how it's going to compare to the cards next to it. If you're higher, then your card color, which in this case is blue, will take over the other card. If it's lower, you lose your card. And the goal is to have the most amount of cards at the end.
Yes, there's a little bit of leeway here though, because it's not exactly 1-to-1 if yours is higher. The numbers and letters represent different things, and there is a bit of randomness to it. Because I forget if we're going to see it in this game. We're going to play 2 games, so I know we'll see it at least once. If 2 arrows conflict with one another, that happens.
Right, and then you have a battle.
Yeah, and then if you happen to win, then the card that you changed to your color, which is blue, then turns all the other cards with the arrows that card's pointing towards blue as well. And so the best way to win is to try and chain. I mess up here and don't do a very good job.
I was gonna say, you kind of let him get some key positions.
Yeah, I accidentally put that blue flan in the wrong spot.
That's what I was thinking, that's not the right spot. So we lost. Next game.
Well, we didn't lose. We got a draw. A draw, well, I mean, it's essentially a loss. You didn't win. But you don't lose a card, because the winner gets to pick a card.
Revenge against the sign maker. Let's beat him up.
Well,
So why are you not choosing more of the larger cards?
Of the ones with more arrows?
Mm-hmm.
Just diversity, really.
Okay, because last time I noticed you used 2 wolves and not the lizard man.
Yeah.
And so when you're playing this game, you have to be really careful about the stones, because they block you.
Yeah, that's actually one of the biggest things is stones are put in random that block off spots, and so it adds a lot of depth. Well, maybe I shouldn't say depth per se, but a lot more strategy to it than you would think.
Well, there's that, but there's also the consideration of, not every card can move in the same way. Well, that's strategy, like you were saying. Ooh, a select.
No, I get what you're saying, though. Oh, I lost.
Oh. I don't know that we're going to win this one, Gene.
It depends on what you consider a win.
I only consider a win total obliteration of our opponents.
Hey, I didn't lose any cards. That's the only part that matters. I didn't lose a card.
So, when you get a draw, you don't lose a card. But what happens when you lose?
When you lose, okay, so there are two things that can happen. Here, I try jump rope again. There are two things that can happen when you lose. If you lose, the computer gets to take a card. They'll usually pick whatever one is what would be considered the best card. I'm a bad jump roper. They'll take whatever one is considered the best card. However, if all of your cards are their color, like it's a complete wipeout, they take all of the cards that you used.
Oh.
So
I've
it's
never
very
experienced a total wipeout. That would be
it's very devastating. However, vice versa, if you win, then you get to take one of their cards. Or if you get all of their cards your color, then you get all the cards they had. Ah!
It's oh, no spoilers.
Indeed, this is a Mughal.
A Mughal!
And we're slave number one.
I like how he did not enslave the Mughal, but we're a slave.
Wow, I mean, the Mughals probably wouldn't put up with that.
This is true.
So, this is Kupo, a Mughal. He explains to us the Mughals' function, because they're really important in Final Fantasy IX. Also, this rat is really freaking strong.
Mm-hmm.
He's climbing up a ladder while carrying a ladder one-handed. And this is Stiltskin. Do you know who Stiltskin is?
I do know who Stiltskin is. He's a traveling Mughal.
That's right. We'll see a lot of him later.
And he's going to introduce us to a very important aspect of Final Fantasy IX. And one of the Mughal other abilities other than to save.
Yes, that's true. Bye, Stiltskin. Oh, our master's telling us to hurry up. But I'm not ready for that. Instead, let's talk to Kupo some more. Okay, so there is Magnet, Tent, and Save. Here he'll tell us about Magnet. This is one of the big, long-term spanning side quests. And also one of the most interesting, because it gives you a lot of, I guess, world building. Do you know what Magnet is, Lacey?
I do know what Magnet is. Magnet is how the mail travels between mobs. And in Final Fantasy IX, and a really interesting characteristic is that it will ask you to take mail to certain Mughals, and it's like a little pass-through. Like it's basically a giant fetch quest. You gotta play a good big game of Match the Moogle.
Ultimately, yeah, it is. Here I'm showing that something that's very nice about the Nintendo Switch version, as opposed to the PS1 version. Young folks probably don't remember this, but PS1 used memory cards, and one memory card could only have 15 save files. This game, the Switch release, has 10 slots, which are essentially 10 memory cards, so there's 150 save files.
What on earth would you do with 150 save files?
I've already used almost 60. But,
That's weird.
Anyway, the play's gonna start if we don't hurry. And I think we finally get to learn what Vivi's name is. Vivi's afraid of heights, though.
With good reason. Heights are terrifying.
Hey, you don't have to tell me. I know. But we'll be fine, right? I mean, the master says we will. It's not gonna fall, right?
As clumsy as Vivi is, that was highly dangerous.
Yeah. But there is treasure on the rooftops. Why? I don't know. Someone dropped 29 bucks in the chimney.
That's more money than Grandma and the little girl.
Yeah, combined even. Here we get to learn Vivi's name.
And he looks like he's 9.
He does. He looks like he's 9.
And he's right-handed. I'm also a righty.
And the rat's name is Puck.
That's interesting because Puck in I don't remember which mythology it is, but it's in one of the mythologies, is a troublesome trickster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of suiting.
Huh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's in a play. It's one of Shakespeare's plays, I believe.
Well, you know what? This game uses a lot of things that, I don't know if I'd say referencing, but clearly inspired by Shakespeare.
Well, and that's something that Final Fantasy does, is they, like, even in 14 that we're playing now.
Man, 19. How's that 19. Future, Lacey?
We still don't have free glamours. But in 14, there's a lot of pop cultural references that you'll see.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of them.
The graphics in this cutscene are really nice, especially for when this game came out.
They are a little bit upscaled, but this is actually pretty accurate to how it was in the PS1 version. Whoa! Lacey.
Whoa. This is something I've always wanted. That's the queen. This is the princess. That's the guy in eyeliner. Can't stand that guy. How does the queen produce that princess? That's all I want to know.
Well, maybe we'll learn a little something about that. Maybe. Hopefully not in too much detail.
Ugh. That is not a show anyone would pay to see.
Yeah, this isn't a horror game, folks.
I don't know, that eyeliner's pretty horrendous.
Hey, man, he looks stylish. She looks depressed.
She does. What a sad princess. Especially with fireworks going on.
Yeah. The queen, on the other hand, is having a jolly old time.
Oh, she seems very excited.
Anyway, so it's time to perform, ladies and gentlemen. So, fun fact, Princess Cornelia is a reference to Final Fantasy I. The starting town is Corneria, which is a mistranslation of Cornelia.
Interesting.
Yes, so that's also part of why I wanted Lacey to establish that she's not as familiar with the classic series. There are a lot of Easter eggs referencing classic Final Fantasy games in Final Fantasy IX, and I'm going to do my best to point them out. Also, Senna's not wearing a shirt.
I've noticed they have not changed costumes.
Yeah, you think they'd be in costume, but the only one who did is Baku. Which he looks pretty spiffy, I gotta say.
That hair does suit him.
It sure does. I love his two minion guys, because they just have little claw clamps for hands.
Oh, they sure do!
They don't have actual hands, they just have little claw clamps.
Like from Toy Story. The claw! The claw!
The claw. Alright, so this is, I guess, our second fight in the game, kinda. This is actually a stage performance, so we can't steal anything, but we do get special effects. Let's check them out.
50 rocks.
Yeah. Meteo.
Pyro. I like how the Baku's 2 minions look like they're wearing gimp hats. They're like cute little creatures in gimp hats.
Yeah. They have a brother, funnily enough. There's actually 3 of them.
Oh, wow. All the history.
Yes, and we'll meet their brother later. Holy instead of holy. But, see, the special effects aren't really doing anything, as you can tell, and we do actually have to win this fight. So, eventually
How would you not win this?
I don't think you can not win. I've never tried. It would take a lot, because, well, as you can see, they're not very accurate with their claws.
I like all the 90 stars with it.
Yeah, it's very special effecty, and I do love it. But since we can't steal, we're just going to attack. Because, like I said, this fight goes on quite a while. If you just keep using special effects, it'll never end. So, really not a whole lot to say. It's a play. But we have wounded the king, King Leo, but he's escaping.
I like how they let him escape through their party and up the stairs.
He's a master of trickery. I also like how they.
Why does he call him Zidane instead of Marcus?
Because Marcus is the guy with the bandana. That is actually his name. I was just about to bring that up. They don't change their names during the play, which is not very smart considering what's going to happen. But that guy who's spinning around still
That's Marcus who's in love with Cornelius?
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, I remember this part. This is great.
Okay, so we have to perform for the nobles. This is a little bit hard if you're not very good with the button inputs. But basically, it's a quick time event. You push the button as quickly and accurately as you can. The better you do, the better your reward. You can retry as many times as you want. I do pretty good here, but not as good as I would like to. So, I mean, it's all right.
I remember fighting this quite difficult.
The part I have trouble with is going left and right, being honest.
That's
going left and
the
right.
hard part too, yeah.
It's just something about going left and right, because there's always a delay afterwards for when I'm able to push the next button. I don't know what it is. You know what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, 95 out of 100 is pretty good, but we're going to perform this again. But, well, let's skip ahead to when I get 100 out of 100. This took about 5 tries.
How many tries did that take, Gene?
It took about 5 tries. They made it a lot easier in this version of the game. In the PS1 version, it was way harder. No, 100 out of 100 is good. When you do that, you get 10,000 gil.
Oh, wow. No need to rob Grandma.
Yeah, as opposed to the, 857. But from that performance, we managed to sneak into the castle where we, knocked a couple of knights unconscious and stole their clothes.
The old make 'em naked trick.
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't take their undies.
Ooh. Maybe that would be a valid way to check for intruders if you were part of a castle. Alright, take your pants off. Let's see the undies.
Yeah.
Look for a specific seal.
Oh, Blank's got cookie crumbs in his pockets.
Someone ate all the cookies.
All the cookies. I'm trying to think if we ever get cookies. I don't remember. Anyway, so here's the plan. We're going to slip some sleep potion into Garnet's teacup while Blank distracts Queen Bran with a bunch of Ogalops. Ogalops being like cockroaches in Final Fantasy IX. Yeah, they're bugs. We'll see them a lot. The royal seat should be right above these stairs, Lacey. Are you ready?
A lot of stairs. Let's do it.
All right. As soon as they're done talking.
That was one thing I did like. You could not speed through their talking.
You can push the button faster, but it's not gonna like super speed through it. Mommy! Here I go back because I'm thinking of a later part. There's not really a reason to re-enter that room. So the game's gonna railroad us a little bit. I want to go this way. But the game doesn't want to let me. So a little bit of trivia for Final Fantasy IX. Alexandria is run almost entirely by women.
I didn't notice that until I just saw the back shot of this soldier.
Yeah, they don't exactly have the most protective armor in the world. Kind of just leotard knights, I guess. Well, who is this? I don't know, Lacey. What should we do? Yeah, let's check her out. All right, so
what a smooth line.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is when we kind of get introduced to Zidane's biggest character trait. He's a horrible. He's what?
Man whore.
Well, I don't know necessarily whore because that implies sleeping with someone, but he hits on women all the damn time. Usually in really
inappropriate scenarios.
Yeah, we'll see that as we go, but yeah, that's definitely his biggest character trait. But we must give chase because it was Princess Garnet, and we will find her in the next part. See you guys then.
See you then.